Hey guys, how we doing?
Morning,
Joe here.
Kevin.
Mad Men, season 4. We have 2 episodes left this season.
Yep, we're heading towards the end. I expect fireworks. We've kind of gotten them at the end of seasons, especially into the last season where they blew up the company. I don't know if we're going to do anything quite that route, but I expect something big to happen at the end, as always.
I do too, and I mean, I don't know. This season's been kind of a mess in a good
Yeah.
way. Obviously, I can't say they don't deserve what's coming to them because they've all been deplorable.
Sure.
It's been 4 seasons of that, really.
Right.
But still, I don't know how they're going to get out of this situation with Lucky Strike. Uh,
There'll be a home run swing, and I can't predict what it is.
yeah,
Right. Something will happen that will be big. I'm hoping it'll be Don. He's needed a little bit of redemption.
he
Um,
really does need some redemption there.
I don't know how to feel about his interaction with Megan. The more I think about it, because there are a couple of people who commented they feel like Megan
Yeah.
was kind of playing that game a little bit too.
He didn't use her.
He did not use her. In fact, he told her
If
no.
anything, she used him.
Yeah. She really was more of the aggressor there. Not that he was being overly like his
He's got a weak will for sure.
yeah, his defense of himself was no, wait, please stop.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't feel bad for Don. I don't feel like he was victimized in any way.
No.
But I don't feel that way about Megan either, right? I don't feel like it's not the same as when his first secretary came over to his house and
That was bad.
he really kind of pushed the issue there,
And
right?
she even said, "I'm not going to throw a snow globe at you," or
Right, yeah.
whatever she said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she basically said she's like this is what it is. I'm a grown woman, and this is what I want to do, and that's all this is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it stays that way. I don't know if she's full on Jane, because you remember when Jane hooked up with Roger, he'd been hitting on her forever.
Yeah.
The reason she did it was because she got fired.
Yeah.
It was a lifeline,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like I need this guy to save my life or save my job or whatever.
Yeah.
And I know what I need to do to make that happen.
Sure.
So I don't know if Megan's if it's ambition too, because remember when it came out of left field there, when she's like, I
Really
want to do what
did.
you and Peggy do. I'm like, really?
They set it up in the episode before with him checking her out.
Right.
Did not expect it to be the case where she was the one coming on to him.
Yeah. And I'm okay with it.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel she didn't do anything wrong. I don't feel bad for him. He's a big boy. He
I
could have
know.
said no.
He can say no.
He had the power in the
Who I
relationship there. He
do
could have
feel
said
bad
no.
for is poor Anne, who we mistakenly called her Lynn, but I guess her name is Anne.
Yeah, sorry about that,
Yeah,
guys.
it's just-
we're watching 7 shows at once, and some of
There's
the
a lot of
some of the
names up there.
characters, juggling them is sometimes hard.
And she's one of our favorites, though. Like,
Yeah, no, she's great.
In terms of girlfriends that Dawn has had, she's probably the healthiest, and closest in age to him as well.
No, I think Rachel Menken in season 1
Oh, she was lovely.
was perfect for him.
Yeah.
And we haven't had that. He was obviously married, so he shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Yeah.
But fast forward to now, she's been since Rachel, she's been the best fit for him as a partner.
I agree.
And of course, he's going to ruin it.
He's kind of ruined it. Of course, that's just kind of his MO, right?
Well, I mean, he hooked up with Megan after
because they had a fight, and so he was like, "I'm just going to go sleep with Megan. It's whatever." But she did do what he asked her to do. She brought him Heinz ketchup,
or at least a shot, a meeting.
a
She
shot,
set up
yeah,
the meeting, which goes against her business ethics.
big time. So she could lose her job for doing that.
Which means that her feelings for Don are an awful lot stronger than she said. And to be fair, mildly fair to him, her feelings for him are obviously a lot stronger than he knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they never. I don't feel like there's any point where they're like, we're in an exclusive relationship. That's not the kind of guy Don is.
No, it's not.
To even say those words. So I feel like Anne isn't either.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was maybe implied, but maybe Don just didn't understand that they were doing more than just kind of casually dating.
That's the vibe that I got too. And also, like, I feel like if Don is gonna date, I don't think he's gonna date for long. I think he's gonna pull a Roger and just get married right away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't see Don in a long engagement. Like
I don't know why. That's just kind of the vibe I get from him. You know what I mean? It's like we're married now.
Just the way he sinks himself into these relationships with these girls.
Yeah.
So I agree with you that if one of them ever became like his girlfriend, like a relationship,
like a 2-month, 3-month.
It'd be like, by the way, we're getting married.
Maybe that's true to the time as well. Especially like if you have the sort of money that he has.
Sure,
then,
right? Definitely power.
Exactly.
And also, I don't want to drop the ball on the fact that Betty has grown up a lot this season.
Yeah.
Like as a person. And it kind of makes me wonder when you think back to like season 3 and beginning of season 3 where people are like, you guys are monsters for not liking Betty. I'm like, I wonder how much of that is kind of like, well, you remember when we watched Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
In the first episode with Dr. Sharon, the psychiatrist,
yeah.
we're like,
Yeah.
we don't like
She's
her.
rude.
And she was.
She was rude, yeah.
She was set up to be
And then by the end, we were like, we love her.
yeah. Well, when the first episode, we're like, yeah, she kind of sucks. She's like unnecessarily terse and rude.
Yeah.
And people were like calling us all kinds of names.
Yeah.
Coming, it's like, she's great. You guys are stupid.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have the benefit of you having already seen the entire show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I would say the same thing, right? No, she's great,
Yeah.
right? But we were just reacting in the moment. And I feel like that might be the case with Betty. Like a lot of the like strong defensive Betty might be like, in the context of having watched all 7 seasons,
Yeah.
now I understand that
Context is key.
Right, yeah, that Betty is not a terrible person. She just had some growing up to do.
I agree with that, and I think my only issue with her is not as an ex-wife or even a person. It's
As a
more
mother.
so it's the mother. It's as a parent, really.
She has demonstrated, including this season, that she is not a great mother, and there's
maybe
no
it's-
way to say she is.
Maybe slightly some of the her being a person might factor into it a little bit, but at the same time, the last few episodes we've seen her, she's actually been really, really nice, and she even came and saved Dawn's butt.
Yeah, she saved Dawn, right? So once she kind of that episode where she really kind of bottomed out, where she saw Dawn on the date,
Yeah.
and like really kind of lost it for no reason,
Yeah.
where even Henry was like, "What is your deal?"
But even by the end of that episode, she was
She made the conscious decision to get over it.
exactly.
And I thought that was a really adult, mature thing to do.
Yeah.
The most adult, mature thing I've seen her do on the show.
Yeah.
And
Much
it
more
worked.
mature than Dawn's been. I mean, that's
yeah,
for sure,
absolutely. Well, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think even this season, we've seen that she's not a good mom.
Nobody's perfect, I guess.
Yeah. I can say I respect Betty more. My empathy has always been there for given her
absolutely.
given her circumstances. That doesn't mean I've liked her as a person.
Sure.
Just because I empathize with her.
Yeah.
But there is one gaping rotten part of that apple, and it is her relationship with her daughter.
Ironically enough, Pete has been the one that's really grown on me the most.
I love Pete. Pete Campbell has been
Pete's
absolutely
awesome, man.
He's been kind of like the grown up in the room for the entire season.
Episode after episode,
Yeah.
we're like, all right, Pete,
But
go save the day.
we need Pete to come in here and get these old men in line as their father figure.
It's crazy.
I want to welcome a couple new Patreon subscribers last day, guys. So Sleaziac and Katie Ann, welcome. We're very glad you're here with us. Thanks so much, guys.
We sure are. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you don't mind, hit the like button for us. Please leave us a comment down below. And if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the new content we have coming your way.
Smash that like button, bro.
Smash it! Yeah.
Get some graphics.
Yeah. We really need to work on that. Yeah.
Yeah, some of the old 60s Batman. Ow.
We have to. Yeah.
If you are watching this for the first time on YouTube, welcome, guys. If you would like to see a full reaction to this, we did a link in the description below to our Patreon page. Now that I got all the words put together in my head
Yes.
there, after too much kaplow in my head.
Yeah.
If you also would like to get ahead over on Patreon, we have the next 4 or 5 episodes. I think 5 on Mad Men, actually. We have the next 5 episodes up. You can jump up right over and watch along with us there. You'll have to sync on your own copy and watch along with us on your own device or streaming service. We're watching ours on AMC Plus.
Underrated.
There's a lot of good with Shudder and everything
Yeah,
there. There's a lot of good stuff. Yeah. We're also watching 30 Rock right now, the Patreon exclusive, which is also a good time. All right, for those of you back with us on Patreon, welcome back, guys. We're going to start episode 12 here in 3, 2, 1.
During the war, Heinz was all about beans. But now, obviously, ketchup is king. I'm happy for the company, but I'm afraid we've become the fading older sister.
So you're right. It's not the ketchup. It's the other stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't have that time, so I want to force the issue. You know, something inventive. Humor worked with the pickles, but
So this is a kind of thing where you get in on the beans. And
Yeah.
Maybe you get the bigger part of Heinz after
makes
that.
sense, yeah.
because I can't afford to move my business a third time in 2 years. I just can't.
Yeah.
Yes, Heinz still does beans.
Nice. I'll try those then. I'm curious. Really curious about that.
Would a discounted commission make up for the break-in period?
I bet I could get a date with your mother right now.
The desperation is very
Yeah.
clear. Yeah.
The account boys do this part. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. It was really great to meet you.
You suck.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I guess we'll see what happens then.
I'm still very, very convinced that Don's going to come up with something here.
Would you like to eat with Henry?
Why don't Bobby and Jean eat first, and I'll wait to eat with you and Henry?
That's really sweet.
Yeah. Bobby's already grabbing the hot dog. It's like, give me that hot dog.
She liked it.
It was a nice moment.
It was. I feel like it was Sally's the one that extended the olive branch and not Betty.
Sometimes it's got to be that way.
Right. We've all been kids with angry parents. But yeah.
And tobacco is your ideal boyfriend.
Right. This is also an opportunity to change that, though.
Yeah.
Philip Morris is introducing a new brand for young women, hoping to have it on the market in 18 months.
Like Virginia Slims?
Yeah, that's why I was thinking the same thing, yeah.
How much is it?
Close to $5 million. It's a start.
Yeah.
We will listen more than we will speak.
Like a good girlfriend.
And you should have Peggy in the room doing
You
a lot of
should.
the talking since
Yes,
it's
you
a women's cigarette. And Anne.
Yep.
And maybe Joan.
Yeah.
I have dinner plans, but call me tonight, even if it's just to work.
I have Megan in the background there.
yeah, it's a
What a great shot, yeah.
Well, you're there all the time. What do you talk about?
You can take the pads off, man.
Yeah.
You want one?
Oh my god, that cigarette's tucked down in his football.
Those things are probably so sweaty and crushed.
One is always saying how mean she is.
So what?
Lynn was her only friend there for a while.
He was. And it's interesting that he's still obsessed with her mom.
Yeah. Oh, what you think he is? That's still there.
He brought her up. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like she's still on his mind.
Yeah.
On his mind. I can't have her. I'll go for her daughter.
Oh god.
I know it's weird.
Some Game of Thrones
It really
middle
is.
finger stuff
Yeah.
right there. Yeah. Oh wow. Was it like
Midge.
first or second season since we've seen her?
Yeah. First season, I think.
I think it was when he gave her the check for the bonus check.
Yeah.
So, what's the rush to go home? Come over.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
We just got married for the bread. We'll eat. You'll buy a painting. I'll cheer you up.
Oh wow.
This seems weird.
This does seem a little weird.
Lost my purse. At least give me a ride downtown.
I don't trust this.
This is weird.
I'm not even sure that this is an accidental meeting.
Right?
You know?
What is the end game here?
Yeah, this seems strange. I'm starting to feel like she showed up knowing where he worked. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I saw this handsome guy. Oh yeah.
Company.
See, the fact that we're showing him in the house, like we're going this far,
It's weird.
yeah.
Meeting the husband.
So you're a playwright.
When we met,
There's no way they have any money. Look at this. Yeah.
So, Don, let me open your eyes for a minute. Come here.
Place. Like I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
No,
like,
there's nothing wrong with how they live, but I just feel like there's a weird way they're pulling Dawn into it.
yeah. Those paintings are great though.
Yeah.
But she digs you. And I could tell you, she'd do anything if you bought one.
Oh, I don't like this at all.
Pimping his wife out. Come on.
Yeah.
Possessive. And you should have heard how excited she was when she tracked you down.
There we
There
go.
it is.
Yeah, you called it. You
Yeah.
called it. Yeah.
I didn't think so. I thought it was just too coincidental. Yeah.
$10? Well, okay. You two sit tight.
What are the odds he comes back with groceries?
Are they drug addicts?
No,
Both so skinny? Is that what's going on
I
here?
take it as like starving addicts or
Starving addicts.
starving artists, you know. But I don't know.
just gonna go out and put that in his arm.
Okay, there we
yeah,
go.
that was the vibe I was getting
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
I just wanted you to buy a painting.
This is kind of sad.
It is very sad.
Why don't you stop?
This is before they understood that kind of addiction.
But it's heroin, Don.
Yeah, why don't you stop? It's heroin, dog.
I don't know how he can help her. He can give her money. He can buy a painting or just give her a check, but I don't know how much that helps her.
It gives them money to go buy more.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
$300.
What am I gonna do with a check?
She doesn't have a bank account.
I'm for helping her Like I really am. Like
I know.
What can you do though? You know.
Yeah.
Like,
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, he was kind of preyed upon here.
It's really great to see you, Don.
He was a mark. That's what it tonight. Yeah.
what a dark storyline.
Yeah.
Glad you haven't changed.
In a lot of ways, he hasn't changed.
Right. I was thinking the same.
But that
thing.
was a
I
really
like,
nice thing to do given the circumstances.
I have a very talented colleague, Dr. Evelyn Shapiro, whom I can recommend.
Why can't I talk to you?
If he's a child psychiatrist.
I'm a child psychiatrist.
the cartoon finder. Yeah.
I don't need a psychiatrist.
I need a child psychiatrist. yeah. Oh man. She doesn't even realize that she's getting her own therapy.
And that she's desperately needing it too.
She does need therapy.
Ooh. You don't usually see Don nervous like this before a meeting.
It's game time.
He's doing acting exercises.
He is.
Burnett.
Burnett has Marlboro already. I thought they wanted a fresh start with this.
So did I. They're excited to see where you are in 6 months.
6 months thing, yeah.
They're letting us die.
I thought this was a sure thing.
Down the road, perhaps.
I think you have to pivot away from doing cigarettes then. You know what I mean?
We can't even get a meeting with a damn tobacco account.
Take it inside.
Keep looking. There's got to be something.
Mr. Crane, out.
The partners meeting, man.
Yeah. He's like, I guess I'll go watch TV then.
Yeah.
We should move. We should never have been here.
You think we look desperate now?
Well, if you figure it out, you know where to find me.
No, stay there.
God.
Talk. Dang it.
This is Don running away again.
Why not go for the 6 months? Yeah, it's $50K, $100,000 for some of them, but still, just do it.
Well, I mean, it's just collateral, which means that they get it back if they survive.
And in 6 months, you'll have Heinz. 6 months, you might have a meeting with Marlboro.
Right.
I don't have that kind of money.
Pete, I'm doing everything I can. Get me in a room.
I mean, you got to get yourself into a room too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know you're a senior partner, but Jesus, man.
Well, Pete's the account man. It's his job to get him in the room.
The bank called. Something about a loan application?
They called here.
Yes. Do you have...
You can tell by his face it's not good news. Yeah. I need to give up 50 grand of our money for collateral.
Yeah.
It's in my contract. I'll lose my partnership.
You'll lose your stateroom on the Titanic? You are forbidden to give...
Oh my God. I like that.
Don't even think about asking my father.
He's like, they're going to have to come up with something. I don't know what it is.
We got this episode or one more episode to find out what that is.
Yeah.
Also, I like how he doesn't even hang the picture up. He just leaves it sitting there.
He doesn't care about it.
Nah. It's a nice painting, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
a
hate
really
it.
Good
Yeah.
one. What does this mean?
I like this. It kind of like in the end of last season is the spiral gets so bad. It's like, how do they possibly survive this? And they find a way to do it.
They do. They always do.
Yeah.
Why? I'm quitting tobacco.
Change the conversation. We didn't get fired from tobacco. We don't want to do tobacco because it's dangerous.
That's a good point.
Why not take that shot?
Causes illness and makes people unhappy.
Let's make sure they never get another cigarette account again, though.
It really will.
It's like it's the death knell in that part of their company. Yeah.
End of an era. Is he gonna quit smoking too?
I think it's PR.
Yeah,
I think it's a PR move. Yeah. I think he slips that to sticks it in a newspaper.
Yeah.
Sincerely, Donald F. Draper.
You know what? It's a home run shot.
Yeah, look, they're all so angry.
Everyone runs when he comes in the room.
Yeah.
I'm the new pariah at work. The partners are all waiting for him.
Yep.
Someone named Emerson Foote and people from those agencies you mentioned.
Oh.
Well, I think those agencies would be like, thanks for the free press, schmuck.
Yeah.
You know. Because it looks like career implosion, right? For their
So no one is happy about this.
I don't know. It's good not to be the reason this place went down anymore.
That's pretty funny.
Senator Kennedy's office? Robert
Wow.
Kennedy wants to speak with you.
Wow. Everybody get out. Yeah. Bobby wants to have a conversation. That's interesting. Yeah, they're not leaving. Yeah.
Is this our Don Draper?
Yes.
This is
Don
Bobby
Draper?
Kennedy. How are you this lovely morning?
No way.
I'm well. Thank you, Senator.
Bobby, please, listen. I just wanted to say that I admire your fortitude.
Someone's doing too much on the accent. This is a joke.
Almost Australian.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
Teddy John!
Oh my God.
Full-page ad in the Times. What did that run you?
Dang. Okay, yeah.
We've created a monster.
Hit my shoes. That's funny.
Interesting that Roger's the most chill one out of all
I
of
know.
them about
yeah.
it.
You haven't said anything about the letter.
I thought you didn't go in for those
Okay,
kinds of
it's such a good idea.
shenanigans.
It was taking a Hail Mary. You needed
was,
it.
yeah. You like. Why not?
They didn't have any other answers.
Everyone's talking about them anyways.
Yeah.
Like, why not address it?
And I want to see him get the best of Ted.
Yeah.
Teddy. Ted Shaw? Yeah. Oh, she thinks she's hooking up with a guy. Yeah.
It's just Glenn.
Yeah.
Stop, both of you. What are you doing here?
Having some cokes.
Oh, poor Glenn.
I know.
Away from her, you hear me? Let's go.
I still have your hair.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Oh,
Come
Glenn.
on.
Oh, don't just mortify this child.
Go to your room.
And we're back.
Well, Sally, sometimes she I don't say overreacts, but she kind of overextends herself a little
Sure.
bit. She's just kind of complying.
I think 90% of parents would have been able, like, hey, what's going on, guys? Not
Yeah.
like, fire and brimstone.
We're not gonna
at the
talk about it.
beginning. Yeah.
Oh, this is awkward. My mistress, my girlfriend.
Right.
All right.
Have your girl make reservations.
Oh, that's a loaded. That's a real loaded
Right. She,
statement there.
she doesn't realize calling her your girl was
Yeah.
there's a lot of layers to that.
It's this neighborhood. It's being taken over by low-caliber people.
Oh, Jesus. No Penny.
For us to move.
Well, it's probably a good thing.
Right.
I mean, that's what she wanted.
You know how I feel about it.
Everyone's wanted to move but her.
Isn't that where Playland is?
Does she actually want to move, or is it because of Glenn?
It's because of Glenn that she's mad.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't want to move. It's because of Glenn for sure.
Yeah.
But I think Sally wanted to move too, but she's mad that this is like her mom.
It's the Glenn thing. Yeah. Big
Yeah.
time.
It's her mom taking away probably her best friend.
Yeah, I feel bad because that is her best friend. It's like she can't have anything. She can't have her dad. Well, like her parents' marriage, anyway.
Right, yeah.
And she can't have Glenn.
It's not. They finally called me. They want us to come in and meet about an anti-smoking campaign.
There we go.
There we go.
We gotta have new work on the air.
There's a lot of bigwigs on the board.
Yeah.
CEOs of other companies.
Knock
would be,
this out of the park.
Yeah.
People want to hire you.
Yeah.
Advance against a bonus or future salary.
Calm yourself. Don paid your share.
What?
Don owed him big. That's good.
Wow. Big bear hug. Come on.
Pete saved him from
They're
jail.
firing him. Yeah. They just do a little.
Good. You know what? That was a stand-up move by Don, acknowledging that Pete's been his hero.
Oh.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
It was my pleasure.
That's how you handle it.
He was a very small man.
He was. And as strange as he arrived, he was gone.
Oh, this sucks.
Just waiting, knowing.
Yeah, just go in and catch the bullet. You know.
Yeah.
It's almost you almost just want to leave.
If you're like last in line, you'd be like, I know. Thank you. Yeah. Do you have any references? Yeah.
Maybe Don will get the opportunity to punch Lee Garner Jr. in the face someday.
That'd be awesome. You know?
Right.
Is this it? Okay.
No.
That was kind of
it was a long way until we got to the credits.
Excuse me. No, I mean, see, this show is just something that every time we end the show, I feel like we end up talking for a while because I just want to talk about the show.
There's a lot to break down after an episode of one of these shows. For
endlessly,
sure.
I could talk about the show. Each episode, each season, we can just go into detail. We could do 2 hours on the show. Somewhere.
Right. Don, backed up against the wall. We were like, what's the home run shot going to be? And it wasn't what I thought it would be. I thought it would be a pitch that got replacement business in.
Yeah.
And that wasn't it. And I think that's great writing right there. It wasn't a pitch. It was a change the conversation, in terms of philosophy.
Very Don Draper.
Very much so. I feel like Peggy should get some credit for that.
She should.
The change the name thing wasn't the right way to go, obviously, but her saying, if you don't like what they're saying, change the conversation. And Tom took that to heart, and that's what he did.
Well, okay, so Peggy not getting the credit is kind of one of the themes of this season, anyways.
Peggy does not get the credit she deserves,
does not, but she has an understanding of that now. Obviously, the fantastic episode where they were in the office before
sure.
that was one of the best episodes of the show.
Yeah, you remember, that episode where they fought about it, right? Like, I never get the credit. You take all the credit. That's what the money's for. Well, I think it came to fruition here.
It did.
Half the staff's getting fired, but it wasn't even a consideration that Peggy was one of them that was going to go.
She's safe.
Yeah, and I think she needs to realize that, right? I do all of this great hard work. What's my reward? Well, one, your reward is when massive layoffs come, you're not on the chopping block.
You're solid.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you have become that invaluable person you think you are, and then she absolutely is.
Yeah.
Which does make her safe.
Yeah.
From these from consequences. Because these people that got laid off, it sucks because what happened wasn't their fault.
No.
But they weren't. It turns out as invaluable to the team as Peggy was.
Yeah.
So I mean, if Peggy was still a secretary for Dawn or something like that and hadn't gotten into the creative side of it, she wouldn't even be here.
Well, the thing is, with the show, at the end of season 3, beginning of this season, I kind of figured at some point in time they would have to do this and force some sort of layoff. I didn't realize it would be in this season.
I didn't know they were going to go this route.
Just because, it's a new business, and
sure.
in any business, you have to lay some folks off every once in a while, especially during hard times. I just didn't think it'd be the same season,
Right. Well, I didn't. The one thing we did know was at some point we figured early on that Lucky Strike, because it was brought up so much, Lucky Strike is our one lifeline.
Yeah.
There's they're going to lose that at some point.
You mentioned it enough times, right?
Right.
I think we said that a couple episodes ago. It might have been the Christmas party episode too.
Yeah, I think for a couple seasons we've been like when they moved, it was like, we have to take Lucky Strike because that's going to be 3/4 of our business. Man,
it's going away.
Yeah. That's precarious.
But no, so it sounds like the American Cancer. What is it? The American Cancer.
The American Cancer Society. Yeah.
Society. Yeah. I feel like we're gonna have this next episode be focused on that. Hopefully, them knocking the ad out of the park, and then season 5 picks up with them. Getting offers.
Right. I think that's a smart thing to do. The prestige of that. If you knock it out of the park, you've got some new work finally with a new client, even if it's not one that's going to pay you much or anything.
Sure.
But the opportunity to knock one out of the park and say we're still here and we're still powerhouses and we're still the agency you want to be with.
Yeah.
Don's right. It's the right way to go. Take it seriously.
It really is out of the frying pan in the fire at this point because they got 6 months.
Right.
They have 6 months.
They bought 6 months. Right.
They got that.
They're going to have half their staff to do all this too.
They will. So in 6 months, Heinz is coming back for another meeting.
Right. Same thing with the cigarettes. No, never mind. Yeah. They are not coming back.
No.
They are not welcome back.
However, it does open the door for new opportunities.
All kinds of new opportunities.
And I want to see what the ad is. Like, what is the ad going to be? Like, this is the fun part of the show is seeing them be creative with the ads.
Sure.
I love that. I love seeing what they come up with, or if they actually are real life ads that the show is, giving them credit for.
Right. And really they get that, they did completely change the conversation. People aren't, people were spending the early episode talking about how Sterling Cooper is dying.
Yeah.
Right. They lost Lucky Strike. They're desperate. they're on their way out. And that letter, you said, well, hold on, they're swinging at something else.
We're changing.
Yeah. Remember when Domino's Pizza, who historically was considered the garbage pizza, right?
Like it.
But
they did change a lot, yeah.
And that was they did a whole ad campaign right around of we know we used to suck. We've changed everything.
Yeah.
Like they did that for like a year or two. Like that was their whole ad campaign.
They changed our pizza.
We know we've been the punchline forever. Now we're not. Now we're as good as anyone else.
Yeah.
And it worked.
It
right?
did work.
It completely worked. When I was a kid, Domino's was like, oh, come on. Yeah.
Are you mad at us?
Right? Yeah, exactly. What did I do?
Yeah, we got Domino's pizza.
And so, I kind of like this tactic. And again, it was out of expectation, right? We expected Dawn to come up with a brilliant outside the box way to land a powerhouse client with a brilliant strategy, and it was something completely different.
Yeah, I was expecting them to have a meeting with Marvel or Virginia Slim or whoever.
I thought at the end of last episode they're going to land Hines, and that's going to be the big saving grace that Anne helped Dawn save his company.
Yeah, which is it's not the case apparently. You know, I mean, sure. The Anne thing, especially now that she doesn't work there anymore,
right?
It's going to make it easier for Dawn to break it off with her because we all know it's coming, right?
Yeah, there's no way
it's not going to happen.
It is too good a salve, you know what I mean? Salve. It is too good of a relationship. It makes the most sense for a rational person. That he's with her if he's going to be with somebody. Like she would be a great wife for him. Someone that's professional. You know, someone that's on an intellectual par with him.
Yeah.
She would be a great partner for him.
She would be.
Which means there's no way it's going to happen because Dawn is walking self-destruction, I feel like.
He is. And also, she knows who he really is.
She does, but except she's got the blind spot on. Dawn is not capable of loving her the way she wants to be loved.
That's true.
I truly believe that Dawn is not capable of the kind of relationship she's going to want to have with him.
I don't think he can love anybody.
I don't either.
He can't even love himself.
He is just not hardwired for that.
He's not.
He was broken at a young age.
And like you said, now that she's gone, he's going to see her all the time. I feel like it just opens the door for Megan to come in there because, you know, she does give him the affirmation that he's looking for.
Sure.
And I don't think that was a one and done. I think him and Megan are going to continue to have an affair.
I do too. Well, you know, as far as Dawn getting better, he can tweak it, but you know, with the treatment for most antisocial personality disorders, and I do believe that Dawn is truly a sociopath on a lot of levels. You know what the treatment is? There isn't one. It's done. You're like that's who you are in your brain. Therapy can help behavior, but you know what they recommend for therapy? Not that you go get therapy. You do, right? But the most helpful therapy is for your friends and family that have to deal with you to go to the therapy themselves and to like understand who you are and what you're going through and how to deal with you.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like a lot of the therapy recommendation is, and I'm not trying to, you know.
No, sure.
I'm not a clinician, you know. I'm sure I'm not explaining all of this well, and I'm sure someone's going to be like, "Well, actually, you know, you know that's going to come, and you're going to be right, and I'm going to be wrong." But I have read that a lot of the therapy solutions for people with the people who are true sociopaths is the real therapies for the people that have to deal with you and not for you. Yeah.
Well, you know, look at Betty,
right?
You know, she's looking for that.
Yeah. I think Betty, not Dawn. I think Betty can be helped with therapy, but
I think so too. She's disappointed that Sally is only going to have to go once a week now.
Right, and you know, she sucked at the end again because she projected her.
She's lashing out.
Well, and she calls you know why she calls Glenn a bad person? Because she has such an ugly history with Glenn.
Yeah,
that it's one of those things. It's like keep it away, keep it away, keep it away. Yeah. I had this. I don't even know how you would characterize what their relationship was when he was little.
It was a moment.
Yeah, it was
some sort of understanding of one another.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't into a creepy realm. Or,
no.
It wasn't
intimate or anything.
No, not even a little bit. It was like the only person that she could relate to in a weird way, even though it was a 10-year-old kid, which says a lot about her frame of mind.
Yeah. When I say intimate in a like an emotional way,
right? No, it was
not in a physical way.
No, that was never on the table.
No, it was not. I don't think the show ever set it up to be like that at all.
No, I don't think you're supposed to feel like. The only person who felt like that was Glenn's mom about the hair clipping.
Yeah,
and even I thought, no, that's not what it was. You're reading it wrong.
It's more of two people two similar souls like meeting,
Yeah,
kind of having this moment.
The idea that she has no one she could actually talk to.
Yeah.
Like when when Glenn was in the parking lot, right?
Yeah.
And she went and talked to him and held his hand.
Yeah.
It wasn't. All it was, and she said, "I have nobody I can talk to."
Yeah. And I think Glenn feels a little betrayed by that too, because he did recognize that in Betty, and I think they did share a friendship or a bond.
And Glenn even said then, which is really profound given his age, he's like, "I wish I wasn't so young." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I wish I knew what to do, but I'm a little kid and I'm not equipped for this.
The fact that they keep bringing Glenn in at different moments in the show is so interesting too, because like that story arc it truly is the definition of long game.
Yeah.
Look how old he is now, and just every time we see him, it's so interesting, and it does feel profound. It's weird that one of the most profound characters of the show is what a 10-year-old.
He was, yeah.
You know,
he's a teenager
now, 13,
right?
12
Yeah.
now, yeah. But you're right, and I'm sure we're going to continue to see Glenn throughout the show. I don't think this is it for him.
I don't think Glenn's the kind of person to give up over being friends with. I feel like Glenn's the kind of guy, and it's been hardwired to be, that when he decides that he's going to want something or things are going to be a certain way, that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Then I don't think Betty chasing him off because he caught her talking to Sally is going to discourage him from being friends with Sally. And I don't think there's anything romantic between Sally and Glenn. I really don't.
No, I think it's friendship.
I do, and which is what makes Betty's reaction so irritating. I get why she doesn't see what it is.
Yeah.
But
she's concerned. Look, I feel like a lot of it has to do with she doesn't know how to deal with Sally because she's never really had to do that. And she doesn't know how to deal with herself.
She doesn't know how to deal with herself. She doesn't know how to deal with Glenn. You remember how in the early seasons when she was frustrated with her kids or didn't know how to explain something to them?
Sure.
She would just be like, "Go to bed."
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock. Go to bed. Just not to deal with them. That's what happened. She went right back there again.
Yeah.
Mom, why can't I be friends with Glenn? He's my friend. He didn't do anything wrong. You don't even know him. Get away from me. Go upstairs. Go to your room. Go to bed.
And it's sad.
It's just she
doesn't know what to do. And you know what? And the fact that when I say she doesn't know what to do is like she quite literally does not know what to do because like she maybe shouldn't be in that role by herself, you know, because when she had Don there, Don was no help. He just kind of coddles the kids and spoils the kids.
She wanted Don beating the kids.
You need a strong,
really, she did.
She did,
yeah.
But you need a strong co-parent to like help right the ship,
and that's fair too. We're putting all this on Betty, but she isn't a single mom.
She's not equipped to deal with this stuff.
Well, and she shouldn't have to do it all by herself either.
And
Henry's there.
Away,
right. But this could have been a conversation of wait till Henry gets here and we can all talk.
It should have been. But did you think that her parents were having that conversation with her? Probably not.
No.
It was
but that's what I'm saying. She went full on reactionary instead of let's have a talk.
That is why a therapist is so good for her.
Right. She owed it to herself and to Sally. I don't care about Glenn. Glenn's not part of the family.
No.
But she owed it to herself and to Sally to say, let's go home.
Let's talk about it.
And later this evening when Henry's home, we're going to sit down and talk, and you can we'll talk this out. We'll talk.
Yeah.
That's all that had to happen there, to where Sally doesn't feel like her mom hates her.
Do you think that she's presuming something's happening between her and Glenn because of the incident she had at the sleepover?
Maybe I forgot about that.
I kind of wish they gave us a little more so we could really pick that apart. But I mean, I think it's deeper than that. Like you said, I think it is more of a Betty thing.
Yeah, I think it's a Betty thing,
and not in a bad way, guys. Just like in her own emotions. Like you have Dawn. The whole show is about Dawn's emotional struggles and turmoil.
Right.
It's her emotional turmoil.
She's got some bad wiring too, just like Dawn does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an interesting parallel for sure.
I mean, I'm sure we'll see further how it goes. I'm not sure how old the kids get through the run of the show.
Yeah.
We're halfway through. So I'm assuming the kids at least get into Sally at least gets into high school. Yeah. By the time the show's over. But we'll see.
Anything else we should touch on in the show, in the episode?
That was the big, I think we handled the big stuff really. Sally and then to Dawn's
everything with Dawn.
Everything with Dawn and the company. Yeah. We'll catch you on the next one, guys.
See you guys.